So, 5 tips to survive the bull run of 2020 in cryptocurrency. Let's find out what. So hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you are new, subscribe, bell button, like and comment. Obviously, please make sure you do not click on any links in the comments. They're a bit dodgy. But as I say, please do like this video and obviously share it because it does help the algorithm. And I want to get to over 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's a massive ask. We've got 4,000 to go. Let's get it there. So this is a really crucial video. Follows on from the other videos in terms of the market behavior of what happens in a bull run, and obviously my yesterday's video in terms of what happened with my portfolio. Now, I've got some little tips here. How to survive it. Now, the reason why I want to do this video is because there's a lot of influencers on Twitter, on Facebook, and YouTube and stuff that have never experienced a big parabolic cycle move, right? Which could, it's not really happened yet, could actually happen in the next coming months into Q1 and into Q2 of next year, potentially, if things align and things go well for us overall. This is going to be one of the best videos you'll ever see, so please make sure you've got a notepad and pen and you make note of the 5 points, and I'm going to expand on each point as well. So point number 1, and it's the most obvious one, before you even think about doing anything, is the obvious. Do your own research. Okay, I know it's obvious, it's silly, it's stupid. And the one thing I want to mention as well, down below, if you want to get into a free course, my company, you can learn from me in a much more detailed thing, Learning Crypto Limited. Crack on. Alternatively as well, there's a Telegram group there. There's all kinds of stuff there. If you want to ask questions, if you want to ask members of my community, if you've got any questions or queries about any coins, that helps as research. Because if you've went through the pain of finding something that you like, you want to kind of get second opinions. People, good start. Other people on YouTube, good start. What people are saying on Twitter, what their actual community is saying as well. Get a good little feel for it. In terms of how to do research, if you've never done it before, the obvious thing for this, in my opinion, is go onto CoinMarketCap and go onto the project itself. The best thing to do with any of this is go to the live website. Read the roadmaps, read the white papers, read the documentation, read all the information that is given by the company, by the the project itself, the team, whatever. Do your research into that and then make your own decisions. Okay, simple as that. I can't really explain it anything more. If you then like a coin and you're like, oh no, it's all right, but I want to get a second opinion, look around elsewhere, see what other people are saying, but please try and make sure you are not falling scam of a paid shill video or a shitty Ponzi scheme, basically. So just be careful with that. Moving on to the next part is the obvious, really. If you are going to buy it, buy the retracements, buy the dips, right? There's some simple strategies on how to do this. Now, the best thing to do is use the higher time frames. You want to be able to see if something is correcting. Now, contrary to what Twitter tells you, things do come down in this market, you've probably gathered. Now, buying support, buying dips. Now, I've got a current live trade. I've just ended it. I've just tweeted about this saying that I'm looking for an entry here. That is a trade. That is totally irrelevant. But if I was looking to invest in the likes of Ethereum, I would look a bit further away. I'd look at bigger support levels. For me, personally, I wouldn't buy Ethereum anyways due to the fact that I feel it's kind of, even if it goes to $2,000, yeah, it's all right. But I know in my mind that there'll be bigger gains lower down the tree, which is kind of where we need to go with that, and which is what the next point will be in a second. Bear with me, stick around. So if we're looking at any project, right, let's just look at something that I rate and like. Let's poke it up, right? We've got limited data in terms of the new chat, but when you look at a dip, we've had highs of $6.84, right? When you look at the overall kind of let's just imagine, I know it's not the greatest idea in the world, the 618 level of the Fibonacci is perfect on this consolidation level here. It's been a massive strong support this whole entire weekly level. This is a weekly level, huge level, and it is confluence with that. That is a dip. That is a big dip, a correction of 61% of that move has been corrected. Buy at the lows because that is where things are. Buy at support, buy at dips. Even if you look at weekly levels and look at weekly support and stuff like that, you can't go wrong. So just to give you a bit of an insight on this, if we look at VeChain, these levels here have confluence between weekly levels. Even if you go to the weekly time frame and you look for the most obvious place where things have turned around before, as you can see around this region, we've had resistance around this region as well. These are areas of interest where you could be thinking, well, actually, price has reacted there. Why? Okay, cool. You're not going to buy up here, are you? When it's, when there's potential opportunities of these levels being tapped, put an order in and just be patient, see what happens. Moving on to the next one. Okay, obviously, number 1 was research. Number 2, buy at support and dips. Number 3 is diversify. Diversify your bags. Now, there's pointers to this as well. You've done your research, you're liking what coins you got. You don't just want one, you want a couple. Now, my rule might be different to other people or yours or whatever. I only like to hold at least 7 coins. 7. I know, only 7. So you've got a 7,000 coins. You got to narrow that down to 7, which is absolutely scary when you think about it. That there's context. Another thing you need to do as well, following on from that, is do nothing. So once you've diversified and you've found your bags, do nothing. What I mean by that is you need to collect the coins that you've got, buy them at them dips and support levels and be happy with it and chill out. There's a lot of influencers, I'm not going to mention any names because that's rude, telling you to keep buying, keep buying, keep buying. You buy at the dips, not at the point of it's going crazy. If a token that you really like is showing a solid uptrend, you buy the dip. You do not buy for the sake of it, which is where people get it wrong. People are telling people to buy at resistance levels and sell at support in fear. You got to flip that around. You got to sell at resistance as profit, and you got to buy at support to buy the dip. So, in terms of diversification, just to go on that a little bit more, what I mean by that is, if you like Ethereum, you're not going to buy Polkadot, you're not going to buy all the dApps in the world like Tron and stuff like that. You're going to go for different entities, different use cases. So, for example, you may look at Chainlink for Oracle. You may look at the likes of Binance Coin for an exchange coin. You may look at the likes of, I don't know, Tezos for a decentralized platform. And you may look at the likes of VeChain for supply management, as examples off the top of my head. Every single coin has an entity, a use case, a purpose. Reserve rights, for example, is doing a use case that's never been used before. Very, very unique, very, very cool. So that's cool, that's a good one. Whereas if there's like 6 of them doing the exact same thing, you want to pick the best of the 6, in my opinion. Try not to go too cloggy with them because each use case compensates itself. Moving on to the next part is a real good one. Is dominance chart of Bitcoin and the total 2 chart. Now, why does this matter? You want to know when you're timing it right. Now, previously I've talked about this, the 2017 bull run, how it went whoop, boom, bang. That has correlation between the dollar chart as well, the dollar index. So what I've got here as analysis is, as it stands right now, I'm the best YouTuber in the world. It's doing exactly what it says on the tin, but it's not confirmed yet. So what this could mean is here, to give you an insight, when the dominance goes up, your altcoins are bleeding out in Satoshi values, right? Which means that dominance force is with Bitcoin with a parabolic move, right? Simple as that. When this comes down, alt season, hello, alt seasons will thrive. Even if Bitcoin stays still for a bit and just chills out and gets on its lounger and just chills, and this comes down, your altcoins will thrive, they'll do well, they'll pump, simple as that. So if this has turned around, and we do what I wanted to do, which was a retracement from basically this drop down to this bottom area and then all the way back up to the 618 levels of the resistance region. This could be resistance, and in terms of that, I know it's a trading entity, but market flips and cycles. This is really high, and we've not been low enough yet. We've not been below, I think, was it June maybe? Yeah, June, July time of 2019 was the last time we've been below, actually no, April, been below this. So if we get below this neckline, could be pretty cool. Alt season will happen, and then those dips that you bought, that research that you've done, will all become very, very apparent. Now, if this does happen, your BTC value will go up in your portfolio, meaning potentially your USD value may not go up as much if Bitcoin dumps hard. We don't know. So just make sure you understand that with the dominance, as it stands, it's a downtrend in my opinion. This is coming down in my opinion. If it does continue to go down and makes another low into these regions, alt season's here and we'll make a ton of money if you're holding altcoins. If you're holding Bitcoin, you may be a bit annoyed, especially if, another tip, a little bonus tip for you, if you've been selling your altcoins for Bitcoin because of FOMO, you might miss out quite a lot here, because ultimately altcoins have the bigger multiples, and if this dominance does drop quite significantly, well, the multiples will be realized in your altcoins and in the altcoin value in Satoshis, i.e. if you sell it into Bitcoin on the other side. Be pretty good if it does. Last but not least, the obvious one, right? Why is this an obvious one? I'm hoping you've already guessed it. The thing that wrecked me, well, it didn't wreck me, but it kind of ruined it a little bit for me last time, was the profit taking. Why is this important? You need to secure the bag. And today, this morning, I secured a trade. It's just a trade. I secured the bag because I'm kind of skeptical that Bitcoin may turn around. In my opinion, next target levels are going to be 16,700 region, which is a previous level up here, and also a nice extension level, which I'm quite happy with. Fundamentals though. The reason why I'm talking about this is you don't make money if you don't take profit. I know that sounds really silly. It's all been great and good. Oh, I'm rich on paper. But until you secure that bag, you've got nothing to show for it. And I know people don't want to hear me say that. You need to secure it. Now, be happy with what you get, what the market gives you. If you make 200, 300, 400, 500% and you're unhappy with that, I can't really help you. I can't. Stop listening to people that are telling you that the likes of, something's going to go to a whatever price in a week. I've often said I feel long term, over the next 5 years, we could see the likes of Silica could go to $1. If everything goes right, it might not. But if Silica goes to 20 cents and turns around, the chances are I'll probably take quite a bit out of that, because it's money, it's profit, it's a winning game. You do not want to be that person that goes and rides Bitcoin from $1,000 up to 20k, then back down to 3k and sell because you got pissed off. People do that. Always secure your bag. The best thing to do in life with profit is take small chunks out. If you've bought Bitcoin at say $6,000 and you're sitting here right now watching this video thinking, I'm not sold any yet, what harm is it taking 25% out and just putting that into a stable currency in case there's a dip, in case something happens in the market? Protect yourself, even if that means taking your initial investment money out. So there's some tips for you, simple tips. I hope it does help. Overall, please remember them. Research, buy support and dips, diversify and do nothing. Basically, don't keep adding to it at the highs. Dominance chart, make sure you understand it, make sure you understand the cycle of that, and the obvious is take profit and use those profits to potentially do other things. Enjoy.